So guys, remember I said that there are only 5 people in the plane? I think there are more there are more stewardesses than passengers in the plane. So yeah.
Ooh la
Here's
la.
Tori.
Hi guys, my name is Tori and today I'm going to talk about my experience in traveling during the pandemic, which is actually quite the experience if I must say so myself. So basically, before you even decide that you can travel, you have to check if the country is open for travel because as you guys know, during this pandemic situation, traveling is actually a luxury that we do not have. So I just wanted to share with you guys the experience that I got because I managed to travel back home, which is here in Singapore, which is where I am right now. And let's just say it was quite the experience. So we actually left somewhere in the end of July, I think. Oh no, at the start of July. What am I talking about? At the start of July. And as I'm filming this right now, I've actually been in Singapore for about 3 weeks already. I spent 2 weeks in quarantine, but I'll talk about that more later. So basically, before you even leave the country, you have to check if the country that you're going to is open or not. But for my case, I'm actually Singaporean, so Singapore allows like their own citizens to come back. So before you even travel, in case you're going home to where you're from the Philippines, or if you want to travel, you have to check if they are allowing people to enter their country. And you also have to check if these places are like what color they are, if it's like a red zone, an orange zone, a yellow zone, or if it's a green zone. If it's a green zone, then good for you. I think one of those locations is actually the United States, if I'm not wrong. They don't even have quarantine, which is like cool. But for me, we actually traveled home, and holy crap, the number of times that I did my swab test, I think I have opened a bigger hole in my nose. My nose, I can breathe in so much more clearly now with the number of times I've taken my swab test. So basically, before you even leave, before you even board the plane, to even enter the Naiya airport, you actually have to have a swab test. And the swab test that you have has to be taken, if I'm not wrong, 2 days before you leave, and it has to be negative 2 days before you leave, and you have to present this at the airport. And yeah, when you do that, tuloy-tuloy na yan. And make sure that you research the country that you're going to's procedures, like what you need to do when you get there before they let you in, kasi baka ma-shock kayo or something. Because for Singapore, you have to like pre-register and then let them know you're coming, and then you have to like register for like quarantine. And Singapore's quarantine was supposed to be 21 days, but then they shortened it fortunately to 14 days. So we registered and we sorted out our swab tests and stuff. So yeah. So when I got to the airport, the most interesting thing about the airport is that I remember as a kid vividly airports being like filled with people of all races, of all like nationalities. They're just like everywhere doing their thing. But the airport was really, really empty. And I don't know whether to feel sad or to feel glad that at least, people are taking precautions and being safe during the pandemic. But it really does make me miss pre-pandemic times when traveling was not such a luxury. So I'm really hoping that this pandemic will end so that we could, all go back to when we could travel freely, because it's really sad that it's become this strict. It's like the world got bigger again. So after showing the swab test and entering and seeing that the airport was so empty, the waiting areas were empty. There's hardly anybody there. The queues at the immigration were not long. Even walking to like where our plane was gonna be was empty as heck, and it's just so. I just found it so interesting, and it's such a different experience. So when we got to the where our airplane was at, that part was even more interesting.
Hi guys, I just wanted to share with you because I found it so interesting because there's only 5 of us in the entire plane going back to Singapore. So I thought it's interesting. So I'm gonna show that in a bit. 5 passengers on the plane.
Like a whole ass plane, and there were only 5 of us, and that includes me and my mom. So there were only 3 other passengers. So as I entered the airplane, I played musical chairs by myself. It was so empty. It was so weird.
May we request all guests to stow your hand luggage properly under the seat or in the storage bins above you. If you are
So guys, remember I said that there are only 5 people in the plane? I think there are more there are more stewardesses than passengers in the plane, so yeah. Hi guys, let's play musical chairs. I want to sit here. Sit here. I thought I broke my mom's face shield. I can sit here. I can sit here. Whee! Guys,
We are about to close the main cabin door. All ground personnel, please disembark now. Cabin crew, stand by.
this is the part of the journey where we say goodbye, face shield. Goodbye, face shield.
For departure and cross-check.
Goodbye, face shield.
Hello, good evening from the flight technician captain speaking. Welcome aboard flight 5J807 bound for Singapore. Time is approximately 3 hours and 1 minute.
I don't know, it was the most comfortable flight that I've ever been on economy because, you know, I could lie down, like stretch my legs, I could like lie down, I could switch seats, you know, like technically it's like having like the air stewardess for yourself, but like I didn't really ask for anything because I just slept anyway. So the flight from Singapore to Philippines was actually only about 3 hours, and yeah, empty plane, only 3 other people there. My mom is another one, so that'll make us 5 people, right? So that was like really insane how empty the plane was, and like how much the pandemic has affected us, because I remember traveling from Philippines to Singapore, which I have to do actually every year because I'm not Filipino, I'm actually Singaporean nationality wise, so I had to leave Philippines like every year, and I remember the airplanes always being full. So this time when it was completely empty, it was just insane. Like imagine all that space for your baggage, you know, but still it was so different. And fast forward to when we got to Singapore. So usually when you land in Singapore, Changi Airport, you know, you just keep going, tuloy-tuloy lang yung like journey. But
These are like my favorite things about the airport. There's like a bajillion like of these walk-a-later things. So yeah, I'm home in Singapore. I'm home, and I'm blonde, and we don't have face shields here.
we were actually greeted by a lot of people in like PPEs. So it's another constant reminder that we are in a pandemic itself. But the most interesting thing that I liked, at least I personally liked, about traveling to Singapore was the moment we got on the plane, the stewardess said, ay, hindi nyo po kailangan magsuot ng face shield kasi sa Singapore hindi naman kailangan po mag-face shield. And boy, I was so happy because I cannot breathe with a face shield. So when we got to Singapore, we didn't have to wear the face shield anymore, but the people who did greet us, like the people who worked at the airport, did have face shields on, and they had like temperature monitors everywhere, and when we got there, we had to take another swab test. So that would be swab test number 2.
Yeah, on the side.
Oh, sure.
To your right, okay,
Here.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that is all.
Thank you. So we're done with the process to get out of the airport. So they give you like these stickers, which is like so organized and stuff. So like, ching na naman ako. R for
Good morning,
R
Singapore.
for return. See you in the hotel. Ay. As they lead you through their very, very organized system for getting passengers to get their swab tests, they ask you to wait before they bring you to the quarantine facility. We waited, and we waited for other passengers as well who were in the same quarantine area as us, and we actually got on a bus. And I haven't been back in Singapore for so long, so it was actually it was such an experience because I was thinking to myself the whole time while I was in the bus, I'm like, wow, I'm really home during this pandemic. And I thought that was really, really cool. And fast forward to when we did get to the quarantine facility. So this is the tour of the quarantine facility room. I mean, I can't say much. It's so nice. It's like a little kitchen. They have a whole fridge, washing machine, everything. They even have a little like sponge thing, like so thoughtful. We can cook. Like a couch area. I'm probably gonna stream over here. The bed. Oh my gosh, it doesn't turn on. Okay. Then this is like we're gonna sleep. And yeah. Then and then we have the little bathroom area. Yep, simple stuff. Yeah, so see you in our quarantine periods. Good night, guys.
Here.